Hey, welcome to the Credit Repair Show with your host, the credit doctor, Angelo McCutcheon. Today, we're going to be talking about the Bank of America lawsuit. Let's get it. Hello, and welcome back to the Credit Repair Show with your host, the credit doctor, Angelo McCutcheon. And a quick shout out to all my TikTok followers, all my Facebook followers, and my YouTube followers. Yes, today we got a very important topic to discuss. And if you see the subject, we're talking about the Bank of America lawsuit. Now, if you guys can remember, and when you come into the room, TikTok, give us some hearts. Facebook, give us some hearts. If you like what we share, give us some thumbs up. You know how you do. Support the channel. YouTube, support the channel. Make sure you hit the like and share button. So anytime we go live, you'll get the notification and you can follow us. This channel is all about helping educate you guys on how you can repair your credit. Because you guys know what my motto is. You do not have to live with bad credit. There is something that you can do about it. And when you follow my channel, we give you information on how to deal with the credit bureaus, how to deal with the debt collectors, how to deal with the credit bureaus, how to deal with collection letters, how to work with attorneys, all that good stuff we share with you just so that you can have the knowledge and the understanding to move forward with fixing up your credit. And if you need any consultation, please inbox me and we can talk to you about that as well. So if you guys can remember, a few years ago, Wells Fargo was sued and they lost. And they were sued because they were ripping folks off. They were double dipping with these overdraft fees. They were making fake accounts and they was doing all this and they had to pay millions of dollars. Wells Fargo, and people got on Wells Fargo. Man, Wells Fargo was bad. They're a bad bank, and they absolutely right. Wells Fargo was doing some horrible things when it comes to that. But guess what, you guys? We have another bank whose hand was caught in the cookie jar. Another bank. Hey, Candace is in the room. Somebody else is in the room. Did it say Facebook user? Give me your name. How everybody doing? Make sure you hit the like and share button. I can now see your comments. So we're going to talk about Bank of America. That's right. We're talking about Bank of America. And make sure you hit the like and share button so your friends can get this information. So Bank of America was sued by the CFPB, which is the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. They were sued by them. And guess what? They won the case against them. And now I'm going to read an article, right? Because I'm not going to read my words about this situation. I'm going to read this article from the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. And this may apply to some of you guys who have Bank of America, right? And some of you guys who may have had a Bank of America showed up on your credit report and you didn't know anything about it. Yeah, so let's get into it. So I'm going to read. This is from an article from the C. Let me just show you real quick. This is from the article. I'm not making this up. You can Google it. It says, the CFPB, which is the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, they oversee this whole credit industry thing, part of the government that watches over this. So when you hear me say CFPB, I'm talking about that, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. So it says, the CFPB, this came out today. This came out today, July 11th, 2023. It says the CFPB takes action against Bank of America for illegally charging junk fees, withholding credit card rewards, and opening fake accounts. That's the one that got me. Opening up fake accounts in people's name. Let me read on. I'm just going to move around. I'm not going to read the whole article. I'm going to move around a little bit. It says Bank of America will pay more than $100 million to harm consumers and another $150 million in penalties to the CFPB and Office of the Controller of the Currency. A lot of money being paid out. A lot of money about to get paid out, you guys. So let's read a little bit of it. It says today, the CFPB ordered Bank of America to pay more than $100 million to consumers for systematically double dipping on fees imposed on customers with insufficient funds in their account, withholding reward bonuses explicitly promised to credit card customers, and misappropriating sensitive personal information to open accounts without consumers' knowledge or authorization. So basically what they were doing is if you had a Bank of America account, and this happens to, I guess I'm not gonna say it happens to every Bank of America account holder, all right, but the majority of them. So what they did was if you had a Bank of America account, right, and you had, you know how sometimes we get these overdraft fees because they take money out, we don't have enough money in there, so we get overdraft fee, maybe $35, $30, whatever the fee is. What Bank of America was doing was, okay, we're going to take that $35 overdraft fee, and then we're going to take another $35. They were double dipping, and the consumer didn't even know it, didn't even realize that. Or the account holder or the Bank of America customers did not know that they were double dipping. Now, they was doing this for a long stretch of time. I guess we'll get into how many years they basically was doing this, but with some time they were double dipping, right? So if you was charged an overdraft fee of $35, they would take that, and then they take another $35 without you knowing, or maybe even another $35 without you knowing. And not only that, but it says that, and this is probably a small one, but you know how you have credit cards from Bank of America, they have reward cards and stuff like that. They were promising if you spend the X amount, you would get this award, you would get that, but they wasn't giving the account holder those rewards, which is a little thing for me, but it's a big thing. But then the last one, the third thing that they was charged with, making fake accounts. So sometimes even if you had a Bank of America account, they would actually open up another Bank of America account in your name. Why they would do this? Sometimes they did it because it helped them reach certain stages where they got bonuses for the X number of accounts they were able to open up. And in some cases, it may just be straight out fraud and theft and all that good stuff. And they've been doing that for, according to the CFPB, for years. Double dipping, not giving out the rewards that they promised if you had credit cards with them, and making fake accounts. Robin said one should be reconciling their accounts monthly. Absolutely right. How is that an oversight? Absolutely right. Unfortunately, we live in an age where most people don't look at their accounts often. Don't check their accounts often. And that's how they're able to get away with it. That's how Wells Fargo got away with it for years, but then they had to pay all that money back. And now Bank of America was getting away with it until they got caught. Okay, so let's read on. It says Bank of America wrongfully withheld credit card rewards, double dipped on fees, and opened fake accounts. These practices are illegal and undermine customer trust. The CFPB will be putting an end to these practices across the banking system. Basically, what they're saying is, you know what? We're going to start looking at all the banks now. We're going to look at PNC. We're going to look at Trust. We're going to look at Navy Federal. They're going to start looking at all the banks to see if this is a big problem going on, right? Look at this. It says Bank of America is a global, systematically important bank serving 68 million people and small business clients, and has one of the largest coverages and customer financial services in the country. As of March 31st, 2023, the Bank of America had $2.4 trillion in consolidated assets and $1.9 trillion in domestic deposits, which makes it the second largest bank out there. Yeah, somebody said, wow, I felt that was happening to me. It could have, and it don't make sense. Absolutely don't make sense, right? But it's actually went on. All right, so let's read a little bit more before we can discuss this a little bit, because I want you to hear from them, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, who actually sued them, won the case, and now they have to pay up. So here's some of the things they were looking at. Bank of America harmed hundreds of thousands of consumers over a period of several years and across multiple product lines and services. Specifically, Bank of America. I don't know about JP Morgan just yet. I'm pretty sure information may come up. We're definitely going to start looking into what the CFPB bank is looking into, board is looking into. All right, so let's read on. One of the things they did was deployed a double dipping scheme to harvest junk fees, which that's the title. And it says Bank of America had a policy of charging customers $35 after the bank declined a transaction because the customer did not have enough funds in their account. Okay, we don't like that, but okay, that's what they do. The CFPB's investigation found that Bank of America double dipped by allowing fees to be repeatedly charged for the same transaction over a period of multiple years. Bank of America generated substantial additional revenue by illegally charging multiple $35 fees. I could just stop right there if I wanted to. So it just wasn't one time. Like if you had an overdraft fee, they took the $35 out. They just didn't stop there. They took another 35, and then they took another 35, and then they took another 35. Let me tell you something. Lawyers going to have a ball with this. And that's why I say, if you guys felt that this has happened to you, connect with me, because I have access to attorneys, right? Connect with me, right? Work with me. Allow me to work to fix your credit. And if you have that issue, I have access to attorneys who will actually file the lawsuit against them. They're already working on one of my clients already with Bank of America and the credit bureaus, but I'm not going to talk about that one. So connect with me if you feel that you've been injured and you say, hey, while I'm cleaning up my credit, check into this for me. And we're going to do just that, because a lot of people were hurt by this. Not more than 2 times, Candace, more than 2 times. According to what I've read, it was multiple times that they kept doing it. Okay, let's go to the next one. Misuse sensitive customer information to open unauthorized accounts. Can you believe that? Unauthorized accounts. Can I get some hearts? Come on, I'm bringing you guys some serious information. Can I get some hearts? Throw some hearts in the air. Throw some hearts in the air. Please give me some hearts. Thank you. TikTok is coming along. Thank you, TikTok. Facebook, come on, give me some hearts. Give me some hearts. Let's send some hearts up. You can even put it in a comment if you want to. Just send those hearts up, because I believe this is information. This just came out, and I'm making you guys aware of what's going on. Hit the like button. Hit the share button. Let's go. Let's get it. All right, let's read on. So we're going to talk about unauthorized accounts. From at least 2012, again, I'm reading an article from the CFPB website. This is not my saying. I'm reading it for you guys. From at least 2012, in order to reach now disbanded sales-based incentive. Remember I just said that, right? They were doing it because they were trying to reach goals to get more money, these people who open up these fake accounts. And evaluation criteria, Bank of America employees illegally applied for and enrolled consumers in credit card accounts without consumers' knowledge or authorizations. In those cases, Bank of America illegally used or obtained consumers' credit reports without their permission to complete applications. Because of Bank of America's actions, consumers were charged unjustified fees, suffered negative effects to their credit profile, and had to spend time correcting those errors. This is what Bank of America was doing. From 2012, from at least 2012 until now when they got sued. They were opening credit cards, fake credit cards, in consumers' name, open up fake accounts in consumers' name, looking at consumers' credit reports without permission. That's crazy. That's crazy. This is why I always tell people everybody should be looking at their credit report at least once a year. Well, I'm going to say twice a year. Minimum twice a year. You should be looking at your credit reports because you'll be surprised what pops up there that you have no knowledge of. I know a lot of Bishop is in the house. Bishop Spencer Wright is in the house. What's up, my brother? The man right there. But yeah, we're talking about Bank of America and what they were doing since 2012. And again, I already have one client who we're dealing with a Bank of America account. At least our attorneys are working on that now. They're about to file some serious lawsuits. But I'm gonna just stop there with that. I'm not gonna talk about that. Somebody said they sent an email sometime last year dropping their overdraft fees from 35 to 10. That's probably when the court process started. It could be. It could be. But too late. They done did it. They done did it. They done got caught. Open up these fake accounts. Let me read on. This is not the first enforcement action Bank of America has faced for illegal activity in the consumer business. Watch this. Listen to this. In 2014, the CFPB ordered Bank of America to pay $727 million in redress to its victims for illegal credit card practices. That was back in 2014, which means even after they got caught, they kept doing it. In May of 2022, the CFPB ordered Bank of America to pay $10 million in civil penalties over unlawful garnishments. And later in 2022, the CFPB and OCC fined Bank of America $225 million and required it to pay hundreds of millions of dollars in redress to consumers for botched disbursement of state unemployment benefits at the height of the COVID-19 pandemic. This is just wearing me out just reading this article. What you guys think? Let's see. TikTok says, yeah, when I was in college, they was overcharging me on my student account and I had to let them go. Look at that. Pink Beauty, I feel you on that. Because they was getting away with a lot. I can't see everybody's comment, but I'll try to catch them as they go up. Based on one's write-up, how accurate is this data? Robin, go to the CFPB, which stands for the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. They are the government watchdogs when it comes to this. So this data is hardcore, like to the point of being so accurate. Right? This isn't what I'm reading from is not from a third-party source, not from a monitoring system, not from some article in the LA Times or something like that. This comes directly from the government's website that deals with this whole credit industry. So yes, this data is telling the truth to the best of my knowledge. In other words, I've been following this. I get updates on this article, right? As a credit repair person, I like to try to follow what the government is looking at and looking at that. So I'm part of their, whenever they send something out to warn consumers about what's going on, I get those articles as well because I'm signed up for them. So yes, you can basically trust this data. This is the same data that came out when Equifax didn't really want to tell everybody that their system was breached, and they had to force them to tell them that, hey, 250 million people data was stolen because of their breach. So yeah, go to the CFPB website, which is the Consumer Financial Protection. Just Google it, go to their website, and you'll see what I'm reading. So let's read on. We're almost done. Let's read on. Under the Consumer Financial Protection Act, right? You can look that up, Google that up. The CFPB has the authority to take action against institutions violating consumers' financial protection laws. So that's how accurate they are. Bank of America's practice violated the Act's prohibition on unfair and deceptive acts of practices. Bank of America also violated the Fair Credit Report Act by using or obtaining consumer reports without a permissible purpose in connection with unauthorized credit cards. That's when my company comes in. You start messing with the Fair Credit Reporting Act, that's when listen, my clients know when they sign up with us, we're going after them. When you mess with the Fair Credit Reporting Act, we're going after them. And that's how we're able to in lawsuits over the years, $250,000 paid out to our clients. Listen, what I'm saying is it's the truth. It's the truth, you guys. All right. So Bank of America. So again, let me read it again because that's a good question, Robin, you asked, and this actually answers this right here in this article, right? Under the Consumer Financial Protection Act, you can look that up, the CFPB has the authority to take action against institutions violating consumer financial protection laws. Bank of America's practice violated the Act's prohibition on unfair and deceptive acts of practices. Bank of America also violated the Fair Credit Reporting Act by using or obtaining consumer reports without a permissible purpose in connection with unauthorized credit cards, as well as the Truth in Lending Act and implementing Regulation Z by issuing credit cards to consumers without their knowledge or consent. This is crazy, you guys. Let's read on a little bit more. Again, I'm not making this up, you guys. I'm not making this up. I'm actually reading the article. You can go and Google it and you can read it for yourself. But I'm reading it for you. And the only thing I ask is for some likes. Give me some likes, give me some hearts, give me some thumbs up. Hit the like and share button. Let's make it happen. Let's see. Okay, there you go, right there. And for those of you who say appreciate the information, you want to send some lunch money for the Cash App, there you go, right on the screen to say thank you for that information. All right. Messing with people's hard-earned money, that is the truth. That is the truth. Okay, let's read on. We're almost done. So the CFPB orders requires Bank of America. So we saw the problem, what they've been doing. This is now what the government says they have, Bank of America have to do. All right. Number one, stop its repeated offenses. Like just stop double dipping, stop opening up accounts. So it's under the terms of today's orders. This came out today. Bank of America must stop opening unauthorized accounts, and the bank must disclose material limitations on any reward cards bonuses and provide bonuses as advertised. In other words, don't say, hey, you can get $100 on this reward card, but then they only give you $35. Can't do that. Additionally, while Bank of America has generally reduced its reliance on junk fees, the bank is also strictly prohibited from charging repeat non-sufficient funds fees in the future. In other words, if you charge an overdraft fee, you take that money out, don't keep taking that money out for the same account. Don't keep taking that money out for the same account. You got to stop it. You got to stop. Bank of America, you just got to stop. Second thing they said they have to do, pay redress to harm consumers. Now, I know you guys are like this one. The order requires Bank of America, in other words, if you were a Bank of America customer or a fake account showed up on your credit reports from Bank of America, this may affect you guys. This order requires Bank of America to compensate consumers charged, the ones who were charged unlawful, non-sufficient funds, fees, and who have not already been made whole by the bank. In other words, if the bank didn't correct it by the time this came out, they got to fix this. They got to send you that money back. And this totaling approximately $80.4 million in consumer redress. In other words, they're saying we have enough data to show that $80 million was taken out from consumers, total from consumers, of double dipping when it comes to overcharge fees. The bank must also compensate consumers who incurred costs stemming from the unauthorized opening of new credit card accounts and any customers improperly denied bonuses whom the bank has not already made whole. The bank previously paid around $23 million to consumers who were denied reward bonuses. All right, so you see that they paid out $23 million, but they still owe so much more. So people still haven't gotten their money. With all this misleading to the consumers, how is Bank of America still able to resume business? That's the $100,000 question, Robin. $100,000 question. You would think the same way Wells Fargo when they got caught doing this, but they still in operation. Because basically what they do is, they give them that slap on the wrist. Remember, I just read it. They're making trillions of dollars a year. They're making trillions. So when they have to pay millions, that might sound like a lot to us, but when they're making trillions, that's really nothing. In the scheme of things, really nothing. They're getting a slap on the wrist, right? So because they're making trillions, they can stay in business. Okay, let's read on. Another thing they must do, the third thing they have to do, pay $90 million in penalties to the CFPB. In other words, who brought the lawsuit, basically giving the government $90 million. Bank of America will pay a $60 million penalty to the CFPB for charging repeat non-sufficient fund fees and a $30 million penalty to the CFPB for its credit card rewards practices and for opening unauthorized accounts. The penalties will be deposited into the CFPB's Victim Relief Fund. Separately, Bank of America will also pay a $60 million penalty to the OCC for its double dipping fees. In other words, so not only do they got to pay the consumer, their money, but now they got to pay the government some more money, basically. I'm just using that government overall. And the government says we'll use $30 million and we'll put it into a victim's fee, a victim's relief fund. In other words, when you file a complaint with the CFPB and file a complaint about anybody, a bank, a debt collector, whatever, and they found you to be or they found you to be correct, they'll pay you out of that victim's fee, that victim's fund, right? But you got to go on their website and go through the process. You don't have time to go into all of that, but you can just go to their website if you feel you were harmed, or just get you a consumer attorney and go right after them. What is the FICC role? The FICC? What's the FICC? Let me know what that is, Robin. Then I can tell you what their role might be or may not be. All right. So are you doing that? I think we hit the bottom of today's going on, right? So this was a big issue. Just came out today. Big issue with Bank of America being caught. You're going to start hearing about it a lot. You may hear about it on TV, on the radio now, because I've heard some reports already talking about it. Channel 7 talked about it here in Virginia. I saw it on the Gospel Channel, radio channel. When I was driving today, they talked about it. But it's a big thing. It's a big thing. So you'll be hearing more about this, Bank of America correcting all this. And for all you guys who feel that you may have been harmed or you think you may have been harmed, and while you're in the process of wanting to clean up your credit, inbox me and let's talk about it. How we can help you not only clean up your credit, but if you feel that you were wrong in situations like this, we have access to consumer attorneys who can take it from there. Government securities on consumers' deposits. I don't know what their role is on that. I would have to look that up. And trust me, I probably will now because I love to do research on things like that and see. So I don't know exactly what their role is right now. I'll have to look that up, Robin, but thanks for that info. All right. Anybody have any other questions about Bank of America that maybe what the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau is saying? So go over to you might say, well, I got a Bank of America account. How do I know that I was double dipped? Well, you probably can go back to your bank statements, look at it. You might see more, $35 charge and then another $35 charge 2-3 days later, whatever. And that could be part of the same account. Bishop Vega is in the house. Oh, man, I got some bishops in the house today. Some bishops in the house. What's happening, my good brother? Supposed to help you protect. Well, I think your deposits are still insured. Your deposits are still insured. I believe it's $250,000. The banks, the FIC thing, definitely. So your deposits going into a bank is still secured by the government. Don't worry about that. Up to a certain amount. I think it's $250,000. I gotta look into that. Right. You're welcome, Bishop. Right, Spencer in the house. You're welcome. Trying to give you guys the information you need. You're welcome, Robin. Love sharing this information with you guys. Let's see, TikTok, right? No one has said anything in a while for you, TikTok. But I appreciate you guys being on here. And we'll make sure you hit the follow button. If you're not following me, please hit the follow button or hit the follow button, follow me button, because we're going to be bringing a lot of information like this to you guys as we get them, as we see them. And we want to make sure you guys is in the loop, because a lot of times things in our community get lost. So I want to be a voice for that, at least as much as I possibly can. Thank you, Candace. Appreciate that. And with that in mind, listen, you know what I always say. Thanks for tuning in. Whatever you do, stay blessed. Whatever you do, what about student loan credit repair? Yeah, we work on student loans with credit repair as well. If you got student loans that's reporting as a negative, we do look into that to see how they're reporting that. And if they have anything that's inaccurate, incomplete, or unverifiable, we do get those student loans removed. Absolutely. Right. Again, as long as we find anything that's inaccurate, incomplete, or unverifiable on your account, we get those things deleted from your credit report. Because remember, this government thing that came out with the Fair Credit Reporting Act, right? That governs the credit industry. It says no matter what goes on your credit report, good or bad, it has to be 100% accurate. They don't care whether you owe the debt or not. Listen to me, people. They don't care whether you owe the debt or not. They're saying that if it goes on your credit report, it has to be 100% accurate. If it's not 100% accurate, they either got to fix it or delete it from your credit report. And a lot of people are unaware of that. They just assume, well, that's my account, so I know I just got to pay. But then that account may be reporting some inaccurate information like Bank of America was doing. And I assume that most people say, hey, I know I had a Bank of America account, so everything must be right? Nah, that's not how that works. Don't think just because you had a Capital One account, a Wells Fargo account, you had a Sears account, you had a Home Depot account, you know that's your account, that they're reporting everything 100% accurate. Thank you, Richard. Appreciate that. Keep in mind, my goal is to get you to understand, and I know a lot of you guys got good credit, and that's awesome. Of those of you who are struggling with credit, my goal is you do not have to live with bad credit. There is something you can do about it. All right. So you guys stay blessed. Whatever you do, stay blessed. But what's more important is that you are a blessing. And with that, we say, have a blessed evening.